Hey guys, Brent Hull Wednesday design video. Working on a new house that's going to be built that didn't really know what it wants to be. Now I've already looked at this house once, but I want to show you the back side, especially what I did with the sides, because we changed some things to the front. It has consequences to things that happen in the back, and a few small tweaks. Once you understand architectural styling and where you're going, it's easier to infuse it with beautiful details so that it has just a little bit more architectural humph, as I like to say. Come check it out. All right, so I don't know if you guys remember this house. We had done this original kind of French design, kind of rustic over here, a little bit more formal. Then I gave them more of a Georgian look, with brick as opposed to stone. They decided they really liked the stone and French, and so in this final iteration, we're kind of getting down to that French design. I've got a real sharp stone detail around here. They want that simplicity. I'm going to talk to them still about how we treat this, whether there's any corning on the corners, whether this is infill, whether this is stucco. And I've sent them some images showing them different ways of doing it. I've done a French style door here. Instead of doing a 6-panel door, I've done a 3-panel door, which is more Frenchy. We've got a hipped roof, right? And with that kind of that French looking style here, I've got that same kind of stoop over top of the door. Let me show you what I did in the back though. In the back, they had this design. There was an H plan here. So there's wing, and then there's kind of this main body. And here's 2 pieces coming out. So there's a nice little courtyard in here. And I'm really not changing too much. You'll notice I've hipped the roofs. You can see the gable ends, parapet gable ends here. I've also taken out these 2 pediment peaks that are coming off here. I maybe need to slope this roof back a little bit to kind of catch that area. But the real area I'm playing with is this whole area here. And in the French style, that lower panel is really popular. And so I've taken these French doors and just put a panel in them, and I think that helps quite a bit. I've also, you can see, focused the center here and put some columns on either side. And then instead of doing a square window, this is in a bathroom, I did a round window. Kind of focused the house, a little bit of creating some hierarchy. When you have all of these door, it can get monotonous. And so I wanted to break it up a little bit. This is a window. This is a screen porch over here. I've played with, instead of just having, whatever that is, a 2x and a 2x. I've played up panels in the bottom. I've played up little pedestals that these wider pieces can be, and I'm just giving a little bit more architectural humph so that it just reads better. I've gone from 4 windows to 3 windows. I think it looks better. 4 is kind of a weird number. 3 is a better number. So I really like this composition. I liked how it's come together. So I'm very happy with it. I think it turned out really nice and handsome. And then if you go around the side, I started playing with that a little bit too. They've got carriage style doors, and I don't really have a problem with that. I've had to change, because this is now a hip, had to fix this roof, and so it's much shorter, lower pitched. You can see I've got the screen porch over here. And really, if you just fix that porch, I put a panel in the door, but we goes back to that same old problem that when you have, your column's a tube, it doesn't have any entasis. There's no entablature there. So if I'm going to draw, my capital, my column, my beam starts, my architrave comes across, there's a frieze, then I got a bed mold, then I got a corona, then I got my cornice. And so this whole thing's called the entablature, and theirs is just squished down. So you'll see that I've added an architrave frieze, I've got a cornice, I've swooped the roof up. It really improves this entry, this kind of side kitchen mudroom entry. It's a better way of treating it. And really, all you're doing is you're just fixing these architectural elements. You're fixing the column, you're fixing the entablature, and then you're adding a little swoop in here to kind of Frenchy it up. But you'll see that I've increased the size of these things, give it this a little bit more architectural oomph. Even with the screen door here, I would put a panel down there. But a bunch of little tweaks that kind of work to make this house better. I think we're in our final iteration, and I think it's really coming together. And when all of these architectural details start to come together and they make sense around the house, this can be really a wonderful house. Okay guys, what do you think? It's a little bit monotonous, all those doors. Just a few small tweaks, took out those pediments. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's better. I think it looked really good. I think that was an inviting courtyard now. So let me know in the comments. I'm Brent Hull. Thanks for watching.